So the announcement of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 launching day one to Xbox Game Pass was an announcement that had a lot of people talking. You had naysayers about this saying that it would kill the sales of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and just be bad for the franchise as one that is a top selling, if not the top selling game pretty much every single year. And then you had the other side of the coin, which was the side I was on, saying that putting it on Game Pass was going to help every asset of this game. It was going to help the sales, the amount of players playing, the community, all of these things, because you're just going to have way more people jumping into it on a day one when you're launching it into a subscription service that already has about 30 plus million people subscribed to it. And the data has come out. We have seen that launching it into Xbox Game Pass has done nothing but actually help the popularity of the game and bring more people into playing it. And now we have some more insight here from Matt Leslie, who has worked on Call of Duty for 16 years, speaking with the BBC and kind of giving insight as to what the Call of Duty Game Pass launch really meant and what they are seeing so far. Now, obviously, we are still going to have to wait until official numbers of Game Pass come out, how many people have subscribed to it since Call of Duty, how many people are staying subscribed, because that's going to be a major thing here going forward throughout the year. Is do people stay subscribed and continuously play Call of Duty, or do they stay subscribed after Call of Duty came out and are playing other things? That would be some really interesting metrics to take a look at if they were ever to release those. But here it is. This is an interview here with the BBC, and we have Matt Leslie, who is a developer at Treyarch, telling BBC that he thinks the new setup played a part in boosting the numbers, which was launching it into Xbox Game Pass. It says here, Game Pass allows members to download titles on Xbox PC for a monthly fee. And Miles says it gives Call of Duty developers another avenue to really get the game in the hands of the players, saying what we've seen is it's allowed people that might have been on the fence, might have had some of that friction, might have been like, I haven't played in a while, to actually come back and try the game. So they are seeing like new users jump in that haven't played the game in a very long time. And that makes complete sense when you think about what Call of Duty in Game Pass does. It's people who were probably already subscribed to the service, hadn't played Call of Duty in a long time, or playing many other things, see it launch into the Game Pass and decide to pick it up and play. I think it would be a lot of people as well who are on Game Pass Standard, who probably upgraded to Ultimate, who wanted to check out Xbox Game Pass. People underestimate the amount of FOMO and hype that a launch of a new game entices people to actually go out and play it, especially like Call of Duty with all of the marketing and literally everybody talking about it. If you're somebody like me who thinks that Call of Duty was best back on the Xbox 360, those were the heydays of the game. And let's say you haven't played it for a long time, maybe dabbled here and there on one of the games. Now you're seeing Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which had a phenomenal marketing campaign, a huge change. I mean, if you just follow the gaming industry at all, you would obviously see that it was coming to Game Pass, or it is, the marketing for it has changed where it is now an Xbox marketing game. You would probably start thinking, okay, maybe I should try this. There's a lot of hype. Everybody is talking about it. Maybe I should jump in and play it. And then you jump in and play it and you enjoy it and you stay on it for a long time. And if you've subscribed to Game Pass to check it out, you're going to probably check out other things in the Game Pass catalog, which is what I think Xbox and Microsoft were thinking when putting this game into the service. It's not just about Call of Duty. It's not just getting people to sign up to Game Pass to play Call of Duty. It's getting people to sign up to Game Pass, period. Play Call of Duty. Maybe it's not their cup of tea. Seeing what else is in the Game Pass catalog and saying, hey, I'm going to stay subscribed to this service because I'm playing all of these other games that are awesome within the Game Pass service. So it all plays out like that, in my opinion, as to what Xbox was thinking when putting this into the service. And we've seen it in no way hurt the sales. In fact, sales have increased on Call of Duty. As he says here, on PlayStation, Call of Duty is their biggest audience. So as I said before this came out, that Call of Duty on PlayStation wasn't going to change. I still think it was going to be where most people play, to be honest, or where the biggest audience is, because that's what it has been for many years. People aren't going to switch off of PlayStation. That's where they've been playing this game for the last number of years. That's where their friends are playing it. If it's one of those games that they play all year long and one of the only games that they play, they're not going to go out there and pick up an Xbox. They're not going to go out there and sign up to Game Pass to play it. They're just going to go out again and buy it on PlayStation, as they do every single year. And they say that the PC platform Steam and PlayStation were 60% higher than they were in 2023. A lot of people attribute this to maybe because MW3 wasn't as good as what Black Ops 6 is, but at the same time, it's also because there was a phenomenal marketing campaign around this game, and a lot of people were hyped about the Black Ops series. A lot of people were hyped about Treyarch making it. So I think that plays a much bigger role into why this game has succeeded. And by all accounts, for at least the casuals out there, people who don't play this competitively, because I think there is a difference of opinion with Call of Duty when it comes to competitive play, and then when it comes to people who just jump in, want to have some fun here and there. Everyone is seemingly on board with this game that I've seen. I mean, it's been praised very high. The campaign has had extreme praise, 9s out of 10s it's getting when you compare it to last year, where I think it was getting like 3 out of 10s. They did everything good with this Call of Duty, with every single game mode, and putting it into Game Pass, I think is increasing the overall hype around it, where more people are playing it, especially something like the campaign, where a lot of people just, let's be honest, don't care about the campaign whatsoever when it comes to Call of Duty. They jump in and they just play multiplayer. That was me for a number of years, but I've completely switched. Now, campaign is actually the thing I am most excited for, because the multiplayer is fun, but I'm just not as good as I used to be. And to sink in hours and hours and hours into the multiplayer to get good, I just don't have that time. So the campaign is kind of where I lean to, where I get more excited about it. But of course, I still play everything else. And then zombies mode is phenomenal. I actually love the zombies mode. I've been playing a lot of that recently. But they do continue on here and say that the real proof of its success will be whether people who've signed up to Black Ops 6 will stick around. And I agree with that. I mean, that is going to be something that is massive. It's great to get an influx of subscribers for a month, 2 months. But what Xbox, I think, wants here is people subscribing to the Game Pass and staying long term, subscribing for a year and playing other things that do come out, which is when we talk about the Xbox strategy and the release of their games, they have to make sure that there isn't big lulls in the excitement for their games. Now, what they did, and when you step back and you think about it, it kind of starts to make more sense by stacking the end of the year this year. It makes sense because if you think about it, Call of Duty comes out in October, people sign up to it, and then right away they're hit with another game in November. You have Stalker 2, you have Flight Simulator, and then right away after that you have Indiana Jones. So people who have signed up to Game Pass and maybe are getting bored of it after a month or so would generally probably leave the service if there was nothing big and exciting coming out that a lot of people are talking about, a new release. But they're not going to have to worry about that now because of all of the games that are coming out at the end of this year. So I think that's maybe one of the reasons as well why the end of the year was stacked. But Xbox has to make sure that there is no major drop in big games, first-party games, to be released in Game Pass as we go through the next year if they want those subscribers to stay subscribed. And I think that they have the IPs and studios and everything to be able to do that now, where just when you want to hit the cancel button on your Game Pass subscription, you're having a big game drop. You're thinking, I'll just stick around here. I'll play that game and then I'll cancel it after that. And then when that happens, oh, there's another one you want to play. And that's the cadence I think that Xbox is trying to get into, starting off here with Black Ops 6 moving forward into 2025. Now, he does add a couple of more things here. The developer at Treyarch saying that Black Ops 6 will continually get new multiplayer content updates between each release, and it's down to developers to keep players engaged. And that means keeping a close eye on how veterans and new players are getting on. And he says the key is that they are having fun. What are the friction points? And that's what we're analyzing. And he says you never know until it's in the hands of millions of players how it's going to be received. It comes out and it's been really positive, and says obviously there are things that can be improved, and we've got our finger on the pulse of the community so that we can hear those things and analyze them and really attack and fix them in the right ways. And I will say, when you hear stuff like that, having fun in the game is obviously one of the things, that the main thing that keeps people playing. A lot of people complain about SBMM, the skill-based matchmaking. I don't think that's going away anytime soon if you're somebody who doesn't want that in the game, because the reality is skill-based matchmaking makes shitty players feel like they're good players, which makes the game more fun for them. And now with it in Xbox Game Pass, there are going to be a lot more shitty players playing the game, and they want to keep those players sticking around. So if you're in a multiplayer match and you're not getting any kills in the game, the likelihood that you stick around is far less than if you play your one match, first time you've played in a while and you got like 10 kills or something, you're like, oh, maybe I'm not as bad as I thought I was, and you're probably going to stick around and play the game for a while. I know that was my experience way back when skill-based matchmaking was a hot topic, is that I would jump into a match and I was like, okay, there's no way I'm this good, but how did I get like 30 kills in this game? I never used to get that back in the day. And then I realized it was because of that feature of skill-based matchmaking. But Call of Duty Game Pass has been a resounding success so far. I'm very interested in the analytics when it comes to Game Pass, if those numbers ever do come out to us. Hopefully they do, and we'll definitely be talking about that. But I'll end the video there. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, hit the share button, all that type of stuff. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. We'll be right back.